Everything around us is made up of atoms, and as we know, yes. Does it mean that our brain, and this means that our brain is also made up of atoms, and our brain is able to think and it is conscious? We know that, yes. Doesn't that tell us that atoms can think? Even neurochemical, okay, neurochemicals, neurochemical processes that happen in the brain and are subatomically made up of atoms. Is this argument correct to say that atoms can think? Okay, so we know the brain is made up of atoms, molecules, and further complex substances like amino acids and proteins and neurons and synapses and all of that. So there's a lot of neurochemistry in there. There's chemistry, there's biology, and at the fundamental, deeper level, there is physics, quantum physics at the end of at the bottom of it all of that. And obviously, everything is made up of atoms. So we know that we are conscious and we can think and we can perceive the world and all that. So does it mean that atoms can think? That is the fundamental question you're asking. So think about it like this. What do I have here? It's a rock. It's made of atoms. I have more rocks. I show you a white rock. There's a blue rock here. There's a blackish, dark purple rock here. There's a yellowish, whitish rock here. So these are all rocks. They are also made of atoms. These are actually crystals, crystalline objects. They're also made of atoms. Why don't they think? Why don't they think? Why doesn't my shirt collar think? Why doesn't my microphone think? Why don't these books think? Why doesn't that wooden rhinoceros behind me? Why doesn't it think? Why doesn't that deer think? That wooden deer, and so on. Why don't they think? They're also made of atoms. So clearly, it tells you that this over here, the brain, is a very special configuration of atoms. Nothing else in the universe is capable of thinking or being conscious. Brains are. Human brain, cat brain, monkey brain, bee brain, all have different levels of consciousness. But we know that they're conscious, and we know that there's some thought going on in there. Right? So it's not atoms that think, it is very special configurations of atoms that seem to be the seat of consciousness and thinking. How does it work? We don't know. We don't know. We simply do not understand consciousness from a scientific perspective, and from any other perspective also. We don't understand. I mean, in philosophy, spirituality, religion, there are various schools of thought as to how consciousness happens and all that. There's the concept of the soul, etc. But we're talking about science over here. We're talking science, observable phenomena, physical object only. So from the perspective of observable phenomena and physical objects only, we only know that there's a brain in here, and it seems to be the seat of consciousness and the seat of thought. And we know that if somebody gets brain injured or something, the consciousness disappears. I mean, if somebody unfortunately gets shot in the head, consciousness goes, and thoughts go, and life itself goes. So clearly, the brain is the seat of consciousness and thought. It's made of atoms, but there's so many different configurations of atoms, and they don't think. Only the brain thinks. So it seems to be that a very special configuration of atoms is the cause for consciousness and thinking, or maybe it is the seat of consciousness and thinking. But how does it happen? Where does consciousness arise from? Is it an emergent phenomenon? Is it a different kind of phenomenon? Is it something that permeates the universe? We have absolutely no idea. We don't even have a physical scientific definition of consciousness. We don't have that also. We don't even have that. We don't even have a definition in science, whether it is physics, chemistry, biology, neuroscience, whatever. We don't have a definition of consciousness. So we can't answer the question. Right now, the answer to your question is beyond the reach of science. But it's a great question that you're asking, because it helps you understand conceptually what these phenomena are, because we have atoms everywhere, different configurations of atoms, rocks, books, statues, objects, whatever. They don't think. Why? What is special about this? Something about the brain is special, but what is it? We don't quite know, and we're trying to figure it out.